Hello, it's Gracie, and today I'm sharing my third video on my handmade flowers tutorial series here on YouTube. Today's technique is a very simple and basic technique that you can use with any flower shape out there. But I want to focus on flowers with thinner petals because sometimes it is really hard to make a flower die cut with thinner petals look full once the flower is put together. So first of all, I'm going to start sharing with you 3 examples of flower die cuts out there with thin petals. And I'm going to start with the Bloom Forward from Spellbinders. This is a very simple and affordable set, and there are many others on this series that you can find out there, but I got the Blooms Forward, and this is how it looks like. It is a large flower once you put it together, but the petals are still thin. The second example I have for you is this one right here from Spellbinders also, and it's from the Donna Salazar series. It's called the Carnation Creations, and this is a combination of thin and large petals. So in the end, it looks actually like a thinner petal flower because of the combination that it uses. And the third example I have for you is the Aster and Leaves die set from our Daily Bread Designs. And this one only includes 3 flowers, but they are nicely shaped, they are nicely designed, and I like how they turn out once I finish shaping them. Of course, right here I have to tell you, for starters, the thinner the petal is, the more you have to layer the flower for it to look full. So today I'm going to use the Asters and Leaves die set to share my tutorial. But remember, you can use this technique with whichever die set you want to try it with. Let's get started. I have already die cut plenty of aster die cuts right here, and I actually die cut 3 of each. I'm planning to use 3 of each, and the smaller one, which is the thinnest of all, I actually die cut 5 of those. And as always, we have to start off by spraying our petal die cuts, or our flower die cuts, sorry, with water. And you're gonna do this with all of them at once, but I'm gonna do it step by step. I'm gonna start with the biggest flower die cut and shape that one, and then move on to the next size. Okay, here we go. It's quite damp. Now what you have to do is put all the flowers together on top of each other, but remember to offset the petals. Okay, just like that. You don't have to do it right on top of each other. And then the third one right here, be very careful because these petals might actually tear if you aren't careful. So what I'm gonna do is I press on the center, right? And then start scrunching, just like that. The center of these flowers is quite wide, so it will allow you to do this easier, in an easier way. Okay, there we go. Don't be scared. It looks messy, but it will look very nice once we finish the flower. Let's move on to the second size, the medium flower. Again, I'm spraying it both sides. This is plain water. Some of you might want to try colored water, the kind you make with reinkers or maybe color sprays, and that's all right. But I'm using plain water, and I'm gonna color it in the end if I feel like I want to do that. Again, we're scrunching the petals towards the center because that's what we want to do. You have to scrunch it towards the center. That's the only way it will work to make the flower look full. And finally, we're gonna do our smallest flower, and this is the one that may give you the most trouble. Okay, here we go. I hope it's wet enough. Yes, it is. Okay. Again, you have to put the flowers on top of each other. I was not as, careful this time, and scrunch it towards the center, just like that. Okay. So we're done. We're gonna let it dry. Again, I always tell you, you can perfectly use a heat gun for this matter, but if you do not own a heat gun, then just let it air dry and it'll work perfectly, exactly the same. Okay, so here are my flowers. They're completely dry, and we're gonna start opening it very carefully because the petals are quite thin and we don't want to tear them. But even if you do tear a petal or two, remember that we have many layers and we can play with those layers to, cover our mistakes. So don't worry too much. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're still gonna make a beautiful flower in the end. You'll see. Okay, so here's the result. This is how each die cut should look like. Okay, doesn't look pretty, I know, but as always, please remember to be a little patient. In order to achieve a beautiful flower, you will need to be patient. Okay, here we go again. It's quite tangled, so be very careful. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and untangle each of the flowers. Okay, so here are our flowers already untangled and separated from the messy ball of paper we had made when we scrunched them. And now we have to put them together. And as always, I'm using the all-purpose adhesive by UHU. It's a gel silicone. You've seen me using it before on another video. And I just add a little bit and then put the flower together right there. I love that the center of this flower is quite wide, and that allows me to press and adhere very easily each flower on top of each other. Okay, here we go. We're going now, we're on the second size of flower already. Okay, there we go. It's coming together very nicely. Okay, for the last flowers, I'm adding the adhesive on the actual die cut that I'm adding and not on the base, because it's becoming fuller and fuller and I barely have space in there to add the adhesive. Okay, here we go. And I'm using my nails. This time I could perfectly use a tool to press down, but I'm using my nails. That's okay. Okay, it looks quite full. It looks messy, but it looks pretty. Let's color it. Let's grab a pink re-inker mix with water and start spraying on it. Okay. I like to add a little bit more in the center. Okay, so here's our flower. It looks quite full, quite pretty. It has quite a lot of dimension, and I love how it resulted. So let me show you now a card I made using this technique. And it's a card I made for our Daily Bread Designs, actually. And I used color cardstock and then painted the ends of the petals with acrylic paint. And it's an iridescent paint. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a very nice card with a lot of, sparkle. So here it is. If you want to know the details to this card, I'll be adding a link below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you again soon.